All right, this is going to be the final part of your workout, which is an addition to what we normally do when we're at Adrenaline Monkey training. Is we're going to have a little bit of stretching that you're going to do. We're going to make this some targeted stretching. Now, these do not feel limited to any of these stretches. Feel absolutely perfectly fine in picking another stretch to add to this. To spending more time in any particular stretch where you're particularly tight. In any stretch where we're doing one side at a time, if one side is a lot tighter than the other, you should probably start on that side, go to the other side, and then finish with the side that was tight, but doing twice as much work for it. So with this stretching, again, I'm not going to keep you on exactly a clock as with the warm-ups. Go ahead, you're going to have to find an appropriate time for you. But I'd like a minimum of 30 seconds in each of these stretches. We're going to do two stretches that will start off that are going to be for our upper body, and then we'll do two stretches for the lower body. So the first one I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you elevate your hands on something. Now I just happen to be using a parallel, but you can use yoga blocks, you can use a chair, whatever is appropriate for you. I'm going to have you go ahead and come onto all fours, and you're going to go ahead and reach, trying to get shoulders to touch the ears. And I'm going to sink into this one, and I'm just going to try to breathe and relax. And that's going to be a common theme throughout this, is not forcing anything. Now, when you get in there and you're nice and relaxed and you're breathing, you can go ahead, you can do little micro movements, that's okay. Don't force anything, though. You should be able to breathe the entire time you're in a stretch. All right? You should be able to, and with every exhalation, go a little bit deeper. If you want to play with this a little bit, you can do a little contract, relax. So in this one, if I want to do a contraction, I'm going to try to bring my arms down to the ground and do a little contraction for maybe about 5 seconds. I'll do one now. And at the end of that contraction, let everything relax and breathe and go a little deeper. 2 to 3 of these contractions are fine. You don't have to do the contractions if you don't want, but hold for, I'd say, a minimum of 30 seconds, and you can hold these a bit longer if you'd like. But try to do that. That'll feel really good. It'll open up. And this is one of our upper body stretches. The second one that we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get your hands behind you now, all right? And we're going to do this one with straight arms. And this one we're going to go shoulders out and chest nice and high, back straight. Don't slump. That'll take the stretch off where we want it. And here you're going to scoot your butt forward until you feel a comfortable stretch. You should feel that stretch running along the chest and shoulders along the front here. When we're here, again, try to just breathe in there. Try to relax. Let things open up. Again, you can just do the breathing and stretching for 30 seconds. If you want, you can do 2 to 3 contract, relax, where you hold this. You hold a static contraction for about 5 seconds or so, and then fully just let it release and see if you go a little bit deeper. That contract, relax stuff can make you a bit sore. And in the beginning, don't make it a very hard contraction. It should be a slight contraction, and as you get more and more comfortable with it, you can go deeper and deeper into that. We're going to do a couple for our lower body now. So we're going to go, this first one here is going to be single limb movement. So we're going to have to do it to each side. So what we're going to do here is a lunge stretch. So what I'm going to have you do in this particular variation of the lunge, I want you to go ahead and keep your hands on the ground. Now, if you can't get your hands to the ground in this particular lunge stretch, and there are other variations of the lunge, you can use yoga blocks, you can use books, you can use, in this case, the parallel, whatever helps you get to the ground. So from here, what we're going to do is you're going to walk this lead foot out nice and far. You want to get it in front of the knee over here. You want to walk this back leg back so that the knee is way back behind the hip. And then from here, I want you to tuck your tail under And just try to sink down and breathe with it. Eventually, you might be able to get down to the ground with your elbows. And again, you're going to feel this strongly in the hip flexor of the leg that's back. If you are feeling this in your lower back, there's a good chance that you're arching through the back and you're not tucking your tail under. Really work on tucking that tail under and it'll go into the hip flexor. This is another one that you can play around a bit with. Yes, you can do contract, relax, but you can also, when you're in here, you can do a little shimmying side to side. You might find a line that's tighter than another. You can open up here. There's a lot of stuff. You can play with these stretches and find where you're particularly tight. And that's a really good way when you get more comfortable with these stretches to individualize it to yourself. You'll do both sides on that one. Finally, what we're going to do a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. So what I'm going to have you do is come into a seated position. Now in this one, we're going to go from bent legs to straight legs. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is reach forward and bend your knees in as much as you need to be able to grab your hands and get your chest against your thighs. If you can't do that, you can use a yoga strap if you have one. If not, a towel, a rope, something that effectively extends your hands, makes it easier to hold on to. So here, you might find a towel is useful. What you're going to do when you're in this position, once you're here, you're going to walk, keeping my chest, just like we did at the very beginning when we were doing those elephant walks to warm up. You're going to keep your chest against your thighs. If this happens, you need to walk back until you get to the point where it's in contact. Once we're there, I want you to work on straightening your spine. So if this is as far as you can go before you lose contact between your chest, belly, and your legs, then that's as far as you go. If this is as far as you can go, so be it. Once you're in that position, you're going to work on lengthening through your spine. All right, a rounded spine will put slack in the hamstrings. We want to take that slack out and make them stretch. All right, and what you're going to do here is you're just going to try to relax into it while straightening the spine. You can do little pulses, but don't force again. You should not lose contact between your belly, chest, and your thighs. You can do a bit of a contract relax in there as well, where you do a hamstring curl against the ground. Nothing will actually move. And then try to relax and see if you can get a little deeper into the stretch. Again, 30 to 60 seconds on each one of these. Once you've done that, and you can do more than 60 seconds, by the way, that's fine. Once you've done that, that's fine. Those are the 4 stretches I want you to do every single day. Now, you can add more stretches. You can find something, if there's a particularly tight part of your body. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask them on the Facebook group, and I'll be happy to answer them, give you some good alternatives, maybe send you in the right direction. I've got a lot of good resources. People are way better at the flexibility training than me, that I can point you in their direction. But hopefully this will give you a pretty good start. All right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.